What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. I am back with another rugby video. Taking a little bit of a break, but now I'm back better than ever. And here we go. I've been wanting to do this title for some time now, and I'm finally going to do it. Are the Springboks ready for the mighty All Blacks? The number one team in the world. The team that has been dominating number one spot in rugby for so many years. Now there's many different aspects of this because we all know how great and talented the All Blacks are. I got asked this question earlier, can they be beaten? I believe they can. We've seen it in the past. We saw it last year when they had their series against the Lions. They got beaten by Australia as well in the final Bledisloe game. So they are beaten. But one thing we must always remember is this is a talented team full of players that are strong, powerful, tactically brilliant, quick, strong. I've said it already, but they have all aspects of what rugby players should be. The All Blacks are just, they're something else really. And as we have many other talented rugby nations like Ireland, England, Wales, all the teams, Scotland, South Africa, Australia, all those fantastic rugby teams, they are coming up in the world and getting better. We've seen it with Ireland. Ireland have come from an amazing, or they are in such an amazing place in world rugby at the moment, where they have come from tough times, but then completely dominating the world of rugby. And when I say that, I mean Six Nations Grand Slam champions. For the first time in how many years they beat Australia in Australian territory, which is unbelievable. And then we've got teams like Wales doing so well in Argentina, growing and developing. We're seeing talented teams like the USA beating Scotland. Scotland also doing well last year and not doing too bad in the Six Nations. We have all these rugby teams coming up and are getting to the position of challenging the All Blacks. We've seen it with the Springboks. They went through a strong stage, and we dropped. We came back, and then we just dropped under the Alistair Coetzee era. But now we're slowly on the rise. But are we ready for the All Blacks? Well, that we're going to talk about now. Springboks have got a very interesting team at the moment. We are full of fantastic rugby players. We always go back to the issue of the quota system, transformation, and all that jazz. But honestly, we can't keep using that as an excuse. We have talented players of colour. We really do. And if used correctly, which I believe Rassie Erasmus will do, we're going to see a team that can be world number one once again. The problem with quota system is, as I've said before, is when players get thrown in just because of colour and players get kicked out because of colour and vice versa. I've said it before, that's not the way to go forward. Transformation is the way to go forward, where we select players based on merit. Nkosi, Creole, all those boys, Sia Kolisi, Dwayne Vermeulen, players that have played so well provincially and have put their hands up for international credit and to play for the Springboks. That is what transformation is. Also bringing sport or rugby, or let's say sport because it's South Africa, into the communities to teach young ones how to play the sport that they love, to bring players, heroes into their hearts so they can grow up admiring and respecting and loving their sporting heroes. And that really was what it's about, to pull away from crime and to focus on sport, because in the words of the great Nelson Mandela, sport has the power to change lives. It has the power to unite and inspire. It speaks to the youth in languages that no one else can, and that is truth. I am a witness of it. Sport changed my life, and it's why I'm doing what I'm doing with you guys. So if Rassie takes on this job, which he's already done, and chooses the team on merit and gets the freedom to decide who he wants to choose, then my friends, we are going to see a very good South African rugby team. Now we saw that against England, and especially in the first two tests. Yes, there's a lot to work on, guys. There is so much to work on that we need to develop. But remember, it's the guy's first 4 matches in charge. And the fact that he's got a series win against England is pretty remarkable. If we look at England where they were last year, they were dominating world rugby. Now we can say we've beaten them. We've beaten the great Eddie Jones's team in South Africa. So there's so much positives to look at. Yes, the last game we lost, but sloppy conditions. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but it's those kind of things. But there was also questions in the first game against Wales, in the last game against England. Was Rusty just testing us to show us that his team was selected on the first 2 tests against England, and then the last test he thought, you know what, I'm going to select a team and we'll see what happens from it. And we saw they were weak. Some of those players did not deserve to be in the team. Personal opinion, but obviously we all, and I know a lot of you agree with me, but some will disagree. But there are ways in which we're seeing Super Rugby develop where we have so much players of colour that are absolutely talented. And if given the opportunity, we're going to see South African rugby rise. We've seen it with New Zealand rugby. The tradition of the sport is introduced at school level, and that is truly amazing. Going from college to all those different, to club rugby and all that stuff. New Zealand rugby introduces and expresses and shows the passion that the country has for the sport, which is truly remarkable. And you can see it when the haka, guys, is one of the greatest things to watch when you play against New Zealand, because of how the players are, how they react, how the opponents react, either scared or pumped. And that to me builds up a rugby game when playing a team like the All Blacks, and it's truly remarkable to watch. Now, they, as I said, developed it, and that's why they're so good. They've got their own procedures in place. And if you look at all provincial rugby teams in New Zealand, then I'm talking from Super Rugby point of view, they're all strong and dominate. Obviously, the Blues are second from the bottom in Super Rugby, but that's only because they've had so many injuries. They're also a talented team. And I think if they started with their team, we could have seen a total different team, and we could have seen a Super Rugby log once again dominated by the All Blacks. So that's the All Blacks. We know they're strong, they're capable of really continuing this winning streak, or their streak of being number 1 and going for a 3rd title in a row, which is truly unbelievable. I mean, it's remarkable. Going to South Africa to answer the question, can we beat the All Blacks? Are we ready for the All Blacks? I personally believe we are ready for the All Blacks, but can we beat them? Yes and no. Why I say yes, or why I say no first. When you're playing in New Zealand, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing for everyone. We've seen the best of the best come down to New Zealand in New Zealand, because it's a total different thing. When you've got the home advantage, it's tough, guys. We all know it. Sports stars know it. Home gives you the crowd, gives you the momentum, the electricity that helps the players go forward. So for me personally, when we play in the Rugby Championship and we go over to New Zealand, I do not see us winning. Do I see us getting smashed 57-0? Or 50, whatever that big score was? I don't see that happening. I see it being a beating, but when I say beating, I mean like 10, 12, 15 points. I don't see it being a destroying drumming where we got humiliated last year. I think that day is gone. And I hope I'm right. So the yes part of the question is, when they get to South Africa, it's almost in reverse. Yes, New Zealand's got a lot of support in South Africa, and they are very well respected in our country, and there's a lot of support for them as well. But when we playing and watching South Africa play, we've got the same electricity. When they do the haka, it is sometimes drowned out by Olay chants. The anthem is sung, and it's so loud that the singer gets drowned. So for me, those things at the Boks taking place, and I think under a coach where the teams are gelling, under the leadership of Steve Kolisi and Arasi, I think we can beat the All Blacks in South Africa. I really do. I think we've got the team, we've got the talent, we've got the momentum, we've got the capacity in order to do this. As long as Russie's got the selection process right, which I believe he has, I think we're going to see a different Springbok team this year, and we write off the bad memories we have of 2017. They get flushed away, and we create new memories of the Springboks of 2018 when they're going to, and I want to see it. I want the headlines to be Boks give All Blacks a scare, or Boks, the rivalry that we all want back. And I know we want it back because a lot of you guys are from New Zealand and are saying we want to see the old Springboks back, that old rivalry. Will we see the Springboks? Are they ready? I believe we are. We're ready. It's to the best of what we can be and what we've achieved now. Next year is a total different story because next year we have a longer time with Rassie. It's a short moment of time, guys, and I think we need to be or South African fans need to be patient and all that stuff, but I believe we're ready. We can give the All Blacks a scare, but we have to wait and see until the Rugby Championship. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are we ready? Are the Springboks ready for the All Blacks? All Blacks fans, what are your thoughts? Answer the poll above. Are the Springboks ready? When I say ready, I don't mean a whitewash. I mean, can we give them a scare? That's all I want. Answer the poll above, and I'll be curious to see what your feedback will be. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I know I've been away for a week, but I'm back now better than ever. I needed a little bit of break to rethink and regroup on what I'm going to do with this channel and how we're going to bring out more rugby content. So much more to come this week, so make sure you all subscribe. Super Rugby Finals coming up. I've got to talk about Ireland and a few other things, so make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys real soon for another video. Thanks so much for watching. Give it a like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.